Hey, Coach, ready when you are.
Eric, all right. Yeah, I'll start off just by saying just not the way that we wanted this thing to go in regards to the game. Really in all three phases, I thought it started off at the beginning of the game with them having the long drive and ending it with a touchdown. That's not how you want to start, but for us to then get the ball back and go down there and have a couple plays and have a 5-play drive and have it stall into 3 points instead of a touchdown. But again, that's football. So how can we recover from that? How can we get stops on defense and then be able to get in a rhythm and get touchdowns on offense? And obviously that didn't happen. And I just felt like they got after us the entire game from the first quarter to the very end. And that's basically where we're at right now. And talk to the guys in the locker room afterwards, and there's guys that care. I think that's what's important to us, but they care and they know that we got to do it on the field. It's not about what we say.
First up, Jason Leisure.
Matt, are you concerned about your job after a loss like this? And if not, how do you defend where the team is at right now?
No, I'm not. I just think that right now with our team that, this is the stuff through the season that you go through. And it's about fighting adversity. It's about building cultures and staying together. And that's where we're at. And so that's what I do. That's what our coaches do. That's what our players do. We stick together and we understand where we're at and that when you have games like this, you got to figure out, you got to soul search and you got to be able to stop the bleeding. And, there's a couple directions you can go, but my job as a leader is to make sure that they understand that. And obviously the last 5 weeks has been extremely difficult. It's not fun. And because we all want to win and we know that, but the one reason why I'm here is to fight and to lead. And that's what I think is most important during these times. And when you go through these times, how do you respond? And I think that's the test of true character.
Pat Finley.
Matt, what did you think of Mitch's pick in the end zone and on the shot play there? And I'm also curious with the fumble, did he let the holding on the previous play bother him on the following play?
I don't think so. The shot into the end zone where Mooney got bumped a little bit and not pass interference, but he got bumped and the safety made a good play over the top. And it was a shot that we took. They made a good play on defense, and so sometimes that's what happens in this game. But I don't think that it affected the next play per se. But that's those type of deals right there. When you're playing a really good offense like we are, the turnovers are you just can't have those.
JJ.
Matt, how would you assess this game from Mitch, just kind of on first pass with some of the ups and downs that he had today?
Yeah, I got to go back and see exactly some of the progressions and the reads where we were. I thought early on, I really, his eyes were going where my eyes were going, which is good, and he's going to where you want to go. And then the game kind of, before you know it, after we were at 17, down 17, and then before you know it, you're down more, and now it becomes a one-dimensional game, and they know you're throwing, and so that's where I have to go back and just look at the progressions. But the turnovers for us is what we can't have. I just go back to the fast start, is down in that red zone, being able to come away with a touchdown there would have been, really big for us, and to be able to, take the lead and go up 7-6. But instead we stalled with a field goal.
Brad Biggs.
Matt, you moved a bunch of guys around on the offensive line tonight. You had Leno. I guess two questions. One, looked like Leno was struggling with the toe a little bit. And then two, what went into a whole bunch of moving parts on the offensive line?
Well, again, just trying to figure out what's best, Brad, for us as a unit with where those guys are at specifically. Our guys there are really trying their damnedest to fit and to play as hard as they can. And I know Leno was really battling since that happened in the middle of the week to be able to do everything he can to get back for this game. And so I give him credit for that. But we were keeping a keen eye on it as well, just to make sure that it wasn't becoming a liability. But the rest of the guys up front there, I'll have to go back and see, with the calls that we made and the one-on-ones that we had in any of the breakdowns there. But for the most part, biggest thing, Brad, is that we're just trying to find that lineup between injuries and everything else that's going on, the best lineup that fits to where we can really, do well in the run game and then protect in the pass game.
Kevin Fishbane.
Hey, Matt, I know it's Aaron Rodgers and you guys were without Akeem, but how are you processing that after a bye, with that everybody, refreshed, that was kind of the defensive performance that occurred tonight? Yeah,
That's probably one of the most disappointing parts is just that, just how that kind of went for most of the game. Because against a quarterback like that, I think when you run the ball almost 40 times, 39 rushes, and you have a couple guys that have almost 20 rushes per guy and almost 100 yards, they're getting some yards there on the run, and you kind of felt that early on. And so that's where, again, our team has been relying on our defense, and they're not going to always play perfect. But today it was one of those ones where, again, that third and goal to start the game, that third and goal, he found Adams for a touchdown, and they had a 3rd and 20 later in the game and just running the ball. So I know our guys are frustrated about that on defense and are not happy about it.
Mark Potash.
Hey, man, the effect with, Goldman already out, the loss of Hicks was kind of a backbreaker. What did you think of his impact? The loss, the losing him had on top of everything else for your defense in this game. I know Rodgers makes a difference, but still, Akeem's a big part of your defense.
Sure. No, I mean, obviously you guys all know, and we know, what type of player that Akeem is and where he's at and what he's been for this defense. And so, but at the same point in time, it gives an opportunity for other guys to step up, and that's their job as players. That's our job as coaches, is to, coach them as best as we can and then have them executed. And I just felt like today, you really could feel the middle of our defense, which is going to affect some of the linebacker play, right? Because they're going to get up to the second level. And so then they hit a couple big plays on us. And overall, though, again, when you're going up against Aaron Rodgers, you got to be able to certainly stop the run and then not give him big plays.
A few more. Adam Hogue.
Hey, Matt, in the second half, it seemed like tackling was an issue probably throughout the game. But after the Packers' last touchdown, Tony Dungy even said in the broadcast that is the Bears' defense basically giving up here. So I guess my question is just, were you happy with the effort throughout the game, and did tackling kind of become an issue there as the game wore on?
Yeah, I felt like the tackling there as the game went on, got sloppy, and that's kind of what happens when they're being able to have successful runs and you're trying to make tackles and stop them for, short gains on first down. And I'll never question our guys quitting. That's not one thing that I'll ever agree with anybody with guys quitting. So I would disagree with that. But our was the fundamentals of the tackling, could it be better? Sure, absolutely, without a doubt. But again, that's something that our players have to dig down deep and say enough's enough. And obviously we players and coaches didn't do that tonight.
Cam Ellis.
Matt, you guys have talked a bunch throughout this losing streak about, soul searching and finding out who you are. As these losses sort of string together, what gives you confidence that people, the team's still buying into the message as much as you want them to?
Just because of who we are in our building and the stuff that we've been through. I believe in these guys. I believe in every one of them, players and coaches. And this is just right now a very, very difficult time that we're going through. Forget all the other stuff off the field, but on the field, this is an extreme challenge. If you don't, as a head coach, if this doesn't bother you, or if this doesn't, affect you, then you better make sure that everybody understands that it needs to affect them. And our guys understand, because of the team messaging that we have and where we're at, how hard it is. It's hard to win in this league. And when you lose and you lose 5 in a row, you are getting challenged big time. And what's easy to do, the easy way, is to just start pointing fingers and just saying it's not my fault. That's what it's easy to do. And unfortunately, there's too many right now. There's a lot to do that, and so we're not, and we're gonna fight. And I thought that again, our message in that locker room at the very end, and that's, I'm gonna keep it internal with us, was good, was very good. And so we're not gonna point fingers. We're not gonna blame. We're gonna line up and play the next game that they allow us to play. And we freaking go and we fight for each other. That's all we're going to do. We're not going to be negative. We're not going to be down. We understand, and we're frustrated. We're pissed off. We're angry. We got every feeling. Trust me, every feeling that you have, we have. And but we got to fix it. And we got to do it on the football field. We got to do it on the field. And so this is where you rely on your leaders to do it. And it's less talk and more action. But again, the people that you bring in here, times like this is when you rely on them. And that's where I have ultimate trust in our guys.
Last one, Steve Leventhal.
Yes, hi, Coach. Overshadowed in a lot of this was a pretty good performance by David Montgomery. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought David ran really hard. I thought the line blocked well for him. That's not anything that, David's a hard runner now. He cares immensely about this game. He's going to give it every ounce that he has. And you felt that today. So, with that is belief in knowing that he plays hard and that he believes in us. And again, we just got to keep plugging away and fight. That's all we can do is fight for one another.
Thanks, Coach. Khalil Mack just started on Zoom call number 2. Max on Zoom 2. Hey, Mitch. All right, media, we have a Mitch Trubisky with us. First up, Pat Finley.
Hey, Mitch, what'd you see on the interception in the end zone?
Yeah, it was just a situation where I was trying to push the ball downfield, trying to take a shot. Stacey made a good play. Definitely looking back on it, forced it a little too much. Probably would have liked to check it down or scrambled. But I was trying to be aggressive early on. That's what we were preaching this week as a team. Mooney got held up a little bit, but I still think he could have got to it. But the safety made a good play over top, so you got to give him credit. But in hindsight, definitely would have liked to check that down. Just not have forced it so much.
Colleen Kane.
Hey, Mitch, just overall, how do you assess your play today? Obviously, there were some ups and downs.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to assess just because, I mean, overall, we were just playing from behind the whole time, which is not ideal. Got to take away the turnovers, got to protect the football. That's pretty much the main thing that I'm concerned with. I can't put the defense in tough spots. I can't take the offense off the field like that with sudden changes and just putting the ball in harm's way. You're just not going to win games or be in games when you turn the ball over, and that's on me. But we battled. We put us some points, and we stuck together, and that's what we got to continue to preach going forward is just sticking together, and we got to find a way to get one, and then hopefully go on a roll. But after a game like that, you just got to look in the mirror and see what you can continue to improve on and what can you do as a leader to lift guys up around you. So we stop feeling this way after games.
Steve Leventhal.
Yeah, Mitch, I know you didn't get the result you wanted, but overall, how did you feel to be out there? What did it feel like to be able to finally get out on the field again?
Yeah, if I had any perspective to take away from this, it would, or any positive, it would be that, I mean, just not being able to play and not being able to throw or practice, just being out there, I was grateful for that. Just being able to play the game, be out there with my guys. Obviously, it went bad for us tonight. We didn't get the result we wanted. We didn't play the way we wanted. But for me, being out there and playing with them is better than sitting out. So that'd be the only takeaway, I guess, that I would have that is positive, because the perspective of just not being able to be out there, it sucks. But the other things we can improve on. But so just grateful to be healthy again.
Cheryl Ray.
Mitch, were you surprised that the referees did not call a face mask penalty when you were grabbed twice on your face mask when you fumbled?
Yeah, I was surprised. Everything was just happening so fast on the field. It's my job to hang on to the football. I got to do that. As far as calls go, I never comment on that. I know those guys, everyone's human just like us. I mean, but my job is to hang on to the football. I got to do that. And at the end of the day, that's all I can control. So that's something I got to improve going forward. But it would have been nice to get a call and then have that taken off the board and not being such a big a hole as we were. But just got to do better.
JJ.
Mitch, I'm curious, in the lead up to this game and now in the immediate aftermath, how do you block out thoughts about what this all means for you next year and next March when you're going to become a free agent?
Yeah, I don't know. I think for me, is just taking it one game at a time still, just being grateful for each opportunity to be out there and to play the game. And I know God has a plan for me, and it's going to be a crazy journey. This has been a crazy year in general. So you just gotta keep riding the wave of life and just make every day count. And when we get to next year, we'll get to next year. But we still got to go to work this week and get ready for the next game. So that's what I'm trying to do for the next opportunity. And every time you go out and play, you always try to put your best foot forward, and for whoever's watching. And I know that stuff will take care of itself, but it's a process.
Pat.
Mitch, do you think you played well enough to justify starting next week?
I don't know. It was tough, like I said, just because the turnovers early on and then being in a hole. There was a lot of excitement being back, just being back in the huddle and being back with the offense throughout this week. And I think myself and the offense, we had kind of this expectation or picture of what we thought could happen going into this game. And it just didn't go that way from the get-go. And so things like that happen sometimes. But I don't know. It's not my call. I just try to, like I said, put my best foot forward every single day, and the chips will lie where they are.
Adam Hogue.
I was going to ask the same thing. I guess I'll just ask it this way. I mean, what is your understanding of what the quarterback situation is right now going into next week? And then I'll follow up with this too. Is did you feel like at times though that the offense was taking a step forward from where it's been recently?
Yeah, I feel like we were moving the ball down the field and we had some more things open up, but that could be, I mean, who knows when you're playing from behind all game and then playing a certain type of defense, just not trying to let up big plays and giving us stuff underneath. So for me, it's just
continue to come in, lead the guys the way I know how, and just stay healthy. That's a big thing with this season, especially with pandemic going on. You're just trying to stay healthy, and anything can happen every single week. I think we saw that around the league with guys just whether it's an injury or if guys are getting sick with the virus, you just want to be available for your team and try to go out there and play these games and make the most of them.
Couple more for Mitch. Pat?
Mitch, how was your shoulder? Getting hit for the first time since the Saints game. How did it hold up? How did it feel?
It was good. It was good. It's just nice to be back out there, getting hit again, and shoulder feels good. Shoulder feels strong. So just gotta keep getting stronger each and every week. And it takes a lot you put in a lot of work, and I put in a lot of work in my body just to be able to have the opportunity to go back out there and play. So I'm proud of that work that was put in, but we still have a long way to go, and we got things to fix this week if we want to change the result around. So it was nice to be out there in the shoulder fields.
Thanks for your time, Mitch.
Thanks, guys. Stay safe.
That's going to be it for call 1. I believe on call 2, we have a few more going right now, but that's the end of call 1 tonight. Thanks, everyone.